Hi there, this is Maths with Angela. We're going to do some standard form without a calculator. So here we have 3 questions, one where you've got to add 2 standard form numbers together, here where you've got to multiply, and here where you've got to divide. So when you're adding or subtracting standard form numbers, you need to take them out of standard form and then put it back in if it's arcs. So this number here is 4.5 times 10 to the power of 3. So the way we think about this is that we have a 4 at the start of the number, and then because of this power of 3 here, we have 3 numbers after it to make it a larger number. So here we have 4, and then a 5, and then we need 2 extra zeros. So 4, 5, 4, 5, and then 2 extra zeros. So this number here, if you did 4.5 times, and this is 1,000, because it has 3 zeros after it, it'd be 4,500. Okay. Now this number here we've got to add on is a small number because it's got a minus number. So this is telling you it's 0 point something, and the 2 is telling you there's 2 zeros, so it's 0.047. And I check it because to move the decimal place between the 4 and 7 like it is here, I need to move it back 2 places. Okay. Then you will add these together, so you get 4500.047. And then to write this in standard form, we move in the decimal place 1, 2, 3 places up, so it becomes 4.5, and then we do need the zeros, and then we put the 4 and the 7 after it. And then we have our times for our standard form, and then I'm just going to write this in because it's easier. We're going to have 10 to the power of, because I moved the decimal 1, 2, 3 places between the 4 and the 5, it becomes to the power of 3. So that's our first answer there. Right, we're going to be a bit more clever here with this. We're going to use our rules for power rules. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to separate this out here. So I'm going to multiply the numbers at the start of each of the standard forms. So I've got 4 times 3, and then I'm going to put it into standard form with the other powers. So I've already got this here. So this, and then I'm going to use my power rules to combine this one here. Okay. So what you can see that I've done here is I have split it into the numbers and then the powers. Okay. So I'm going to work with them separately. So here I've got 4 times 3, which gives me an answer of 12, and then my standard form thing, and I'm going to have 10 to the power of, or not 3, I'm going to add them together. Yeah, so I'm going to have 7 plus the 3, okay, which using our power rules gives us 10. Okay. So that is our final, well, it's not a final answer because this is not in standard form because of this 12 here, yeah? So 12, if I was to write 12 in standard form, I would write 1.2, yeah? And then I'd have my times 10, but it wouldn't be to the power of 3, it would be 10 to the power of 1, yeah? Okay. So sorry, I'll put my times in there. So it'd be 10 times 10 to the power of 1. That's what 12 is in standard form. Then I have the extra bit of this 10 to the power of 10. And then I will combine those two together, the powers again. So here you can see I would have the 1.2 times 10 to the power of, combining them together, you would get to the power of not 10, but you'd have this extra one here, which would turn it to the power of 11. And that is our final answer. Okay. Similarly, we're going to do this with division. Okay. So we're going to split it up. So we've got 1.4, and we're going to divide it by our 2.8. So that's splitting it up. Then we're going to write it in standard form. So that's the times 10 to a power. So we've got this one here, and we're going to divide it by this one here. So as you can see, we've split it up again. Now there is a reason why these numbers here, they usually pick them so that there's some relationship between them. So you can see 1.4 doubled gives you 2.8, yeah? And always look for that in these questions, yeah? So 1.4 divided by 2.8 is a half, yeah? 0.5. So I'm going to write it like that. Then I'm going to times 10. Now, what power do we use to? So I will have here my 6, and because it is dividing, I'm going to take away, yeah, because it's divided. So it's 6 take away minus 3. Now remember, two negatives together like this will be replaced with one symbol, which is a plus. So my overall answer is to the power of 9. Now we're not there yet, because as you can see, this 0.5 is not in standard form. So 0.5 in standard form is 5 times 10 to the power of, not minus 3, but minus 1. Yeah, because I have to move it one place to make it 5, yeah? And it's a small number. And then I've got my number here. So I'm timesing by that. Okay, and remember, we combine these together, so we end up with 5 times. Now remember, with this, we're going to end up with these adding together. So minus 1 add 9 gives you 8. Yeah, and that is our final answer. Okay, great. Thanks for listening. Bye.